Augusta. We're watching News 1226 this morning.
A peek ahead into your morning, the Barnwell County Sheriff's Office is facing a lawsuit, and Augusta is getting a human trafficking unit. All that and more, but first, here's a live look outside of our station this morning. Still waiting for that beautiful sunrise to come up. Good morning, I'm Wrdw. We're so glad that you chose us this morning, and especially on this Easter morning. Happy Easter to everyone today, and it feels like it's going to be a pretty nice day outside there, Chris.
Yeah, if you enjoyed yesterday, you'll love today too, because they're going to be pretty much identical. A few high clouds out there. If you are about to head out to sunrise services this morning, sunrise will be at 6:51, but there's kind of a veil kind of covering up the moon right now, but I think we'll see a little bit of veiled sunshine out there early on. Let's go ahead and take a look at our forecast today. Starting off at 7 o'clock around Feaster weekend on a dry note. The 80s are here to stay. We'll tell you a little more about those showers headed our way midweek in the full forecast in about 10 minutes.
Okay, great. Thanks, Chris. And from football jersey to jail jumpsuit, a former defense lineman at Newberry College wrongfully accused of murder. Now, a lawsuit demands justice for Tyran Dixon. As reporter Cynthia Beasley explains, his life has changed forever.
Tyran Dixon is still trying to make sense of it all. A defensive lineman at Newberry College, he graduated with a master's degree. Then he spent time at the NFL Academy and played professional football at the XFL and in Europe. After finishing his first season abroad in September, he headed home to see his family in Columbia. But when he got off his connecting flight in Boston, he says Massachusetts State Police took him into custody, and he had no idea why.
I've never been arrested, never had any issue with law enforcement, so I didn't know what was going on. They didn't never tell me what the warrant was for.
It wasn't until the next day when he appeared in a Boston courtroom he heard why he was going to jail.
The judge, she denied the bond and said that it was a murder and attempted murder charge.
Where did your mind go in that
I
moment?
was definitely terrified. Obviously, I know I was innocent, but with these type of things, you don't know what's going on.
Less than a year before this, on October 15th, 2023, investigators say 6 people were hurt in a mass shooting in Barnwell County. 21-year-old Jasmine Roach was killed. Her family says she was 4 months pregnant.
You've never even been to Barnwell County.
Never heard of it.
Dixon says he signed a waiver of extradition thinking he would be taken back to South Carolina immediately.
That didn't happen.
The lawsuit says Dixon was taken to a detention center and then a jail in Boston before he was transferred to another detention center in Rhode Island, where he was put in solitary confinement for 3 weeks.
They're like, well, you can't be in general population because you've been deemed a celebrity status in here. Because you were in the NFL draft and we seen your profile online.
After 21 days, Dixon says he was taken to a jail in Oklahoma, then a detention center in Georgia. Dixon says it was his family, God, and the hope that he would play football again that got him through his time behind bars. 67 days after he was first handcuffed.
I'm praying, God, just get me out of these chains.
Dixon says he was taken to Barnwell County for the first time in his life.
He has the handcuff key and he's a bit shaky or whatever, trying to take it off, and he's like, look, we got the wrong person. I'm sorry. And that's basically it. So he unlocked my chains.
On December 6, 2024, Dixon says he was finally free and was not charged with murder. About 3 weeks later, the Barnwell County Sheriff's Office announced they arrested someone else for Jasmine Roach's murder, Tyran Dixon. A 3-letter difference that landed an innocent man behind bars.
His name's not even spelled like mine. He looks nothing like me. Second of all, he's 180 pounds. I'm 300 pounds.
Not once have we seen where Barnwell County actually presented a picture of Tyran Dixon to any person that was a witness to this tragic murder.
Robert Goings and Joe McCullough are representing Dixon in a lawsuit against the Barnwell County Sheriff, Stephen Griffith, and his office.
His mother was pleading to law enforcement, to the sheriff of Barnwell County, you have the wrong person.
While Dixon was locked up, his mother says she drove from Columbia to the Barnwell County Sheriff's Office with evidence that would have cleared her son.
Just make sure he has a solid alibi. That's all they kept saying.
She says she had proof her son was at the Newberry College homecoming game at the time of the murder.
They would not look at it. He didn't want to hear nothing. They didn't want to see nothing, no nothing. You maliciously took 67, 69 days of my child's life.
Dixon is now doing what he can to keep this from happening to anyone else by speaking to groups like this criminal law class at the University of South Carolina.
We hope to speak, have him speak, and present to police departments. They, of all people, need to understand the consequences of doing their job poorly.
They didn't even have any evidence, you know what I'm saying, of me doing anything, and I still got locked up. And even when they did know that I wasn't around when that that murder happened, I still didn't get out. Like, there was nothing that I could do with my power to open up the door.
12 on Your Side contacted Dixon's attorneys this week. They say they want answers, accountability, and awareness about this case. We reached out to the Barnwell County Sheriff's Office and county attorney, but have not heard back yet. And the Richmond County Sheriff's Office wants to revoke the alcohol license. Augusta has become a hot spot in the southeast for human trafficking. Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr spoke with News 12 about a new human trafficking prosecution unit expansion right here in Richmond County. Your Hallie Turner spoke with Carr about this big development.
Yeah, AG Carr says they want to take this same regional approach they used with the gang unit in 2023 to help coordinate Augusta's largest drug bust ever and apply it the theory that they feel is successful and use it for the expansion right here in Augusta. Since its creation in 2019, the unit has only had one Atlanta-based team. Starting on May 1st, there will be a new team with eyes Carr says are highly trained and skilled when it comes to human trafficking. You won't see a new building for it, but they'll be out on the roads. Joining the team is two local investigators, William Loomer and Patrick Brown, along with prosecutor Megan Adams. The team, again, won't just work the major roadways like I-20. They'll be online, too, in hopes of creating an environment where traffickers live in fear, but victims understand help is coming to more cities than just Augusta. Carrie Viola Brooke with Child in Richmond says she sees trafficking victims daily and says this will put more eyes in the community to help identify the number of growing cases.
We are going to have offices not only in Augusta, but in Macon and Atlanta. And I think the strategic point there is because human trafficking is so often a very transit-oriented type horrific industry where today you may be in Atlanta and tomorrow Macon and the next day you may be in Augusta. This allows us to cover I-75, I-85, I-16, and I-20.
A couple of years ago, we had the most confirmed cases of child sex trafficking in the state of Georgia. And we knew that we needed a more dedicated response to be able to combat this. So we're so appreciative of the Attorney General's office for not only recognizing this, but taking action. And I think it's just going to make us a much safer community.
Again, all of this kicks off on May 1, and AG Carr tells me with the expansion to Augusta, they and Macon, they hope and feel this will not only reach more victims, but their hope is they continue to grow the expansion across the state.
And there's a resource out there for South Carolina viewers in plain sight. The Community Center placed ribbons throughout downtown North Augusta, Aiken, Edgefield, and Barnwell. Inside is a contact card for anyone to reach out for help. The Aiken Center helps those who are experiencing abuse. The ribbons are an effort to educate you and raise awareness for Sexual Assault Awareness Month as well. And changes are coming to Aiken, and this time the city wants to hear from you about possible changes to Beverly D's Clyburn Generations Park. Your Canadian Payne was at the first of two public meetings where people made it clear they want the park facilities upgraded.
Definitely, they say the park is underutilized and needs more amenities for the community. The concepts aren't set in stone, and it's definitely possible to go back to the drawing board. They just need your feedback, and to make it all happen, they have nearly $10 million from the capital project sales tax. A space to create memories.
We barely got stuff out here, and it can be more stuff out here to make people want to come here, to bring attention and want kids to be like, oh, I want to come here.
City parks serving the community day in and day out.
We know the park is doing well in terms of its cross country, having a shelter for families to come out and picnic and have birthday parties. We get a lot of feedback from walkers that come and enjoy just the walking paths.
The goal now, following through on promises.
We do not have the sports facilities on the north side of Aiken. We started a nice platform for music and amphitheater type events and really had to stop short when the park was first built. It is definitely a need to keep this progress moving forward on something that we promised the community many years ago.
There are 3 different concepts. Concept A focuses on improvements to the amphitheater, like adding a stage, adding more restrooms, and another shade structure, as well as courts for sports like basketball, football, tennis, or volleyball.
Other concepts takes that and heavily either focuses on the amphitheater improvements or the courts improvements, meaning adding additional courts or adding larger stage space and lighting.
Students in Aiken say it's important to give kids a safe place to go.
Help kids be better and stay out the streets, like stuff to make them feel comfortable instead of being out here thinking that they gotta do other stuff to make them feel like home.
No matter where you are.
Smith Hazel can't be the only place with water to fit for all our kids in Aiken County. We gotta think it's other kids that can't get to those facilities that are on number 1 and on 19 that it'll be closer for them to get to this facility.
And even though the city says they are still 3 years out from collecting funds, they want to be prepared for when that time actually does come. And if you missed tonight's meeting, there is another one on April 22nd, or you can give your feedback online. We'll have all the information that you need on our website at wrdw.com.
Well, sunrise will be here in just a little bit at 6:51. There's a live look off toward the east. No sign of the sun yet, but there are some clouds out there early on that could block our sunrise. What a great looking day it was Saturday. The high 87, the low 54. That was 6 degrees warmer than usual for this time of the year. Today will be just as warm, but there could be a few showers as we head into the week ahead. We'll take a look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
Tell me something about.
But we are warmer than average for the entire next 5 days and beyond. 86 today and tomorrow, and holding on around 86 or 87 pretty much every day this week. Rain chances will go up toward midweek, as you can see here, but don't get your hopes up too high. The rain chance technically could happen on Tuesday, but there it is on Wednesday and Thursday. Our best bet for rain for the week ahead. We'll tell you more about that 7-day forecast coming up in about 12 minutes.
Okay, great. Thanks, Chris. And it's been 2 years since $2.2 million in grant money was allocated for May Park. Now, Augusta commissioners are finally moving forward with the first steps towards a much-needed renovations. And as your city government reporter, Sydney Hood, reports, these upgrades are long overdue.
Well, potential is one word that neighbors use to describe May Park, because to the average eye, all of this just looks like another park, but to the neighbors I spoke to around here, they see life here, and they want to see even more life moving forward. What's the heartbeat of this neighborhood?
It was a lot of children meetups right there. Before phones and all that, get on your bike, walk.
Javon Carey grew up just a few blocks away.
It used to be swamp full of children and families.
Today, she walks these paths with her dad.
I see potential. They need a total renovation of May Park.
David Carey still lives nearby. He remembers what the park was and what could be.
Take our advice and renovate this whole area and put a first class, or emphasize a first class sports complex in this area.
Plans for May Park are in motion.
Everything's in place, and all you have to do, all you need is the willpower to do it. The willpower to do it, because everything's in place.
It's just a matter of waiting.
And once we get our leaders and they hear the voices of the people, we hope and pray they understand. A lot of us have passion. Everybody may not be in front of the camera, but you would love to see your community growing and generational wealth passed on to the kids of homes and just a chance to be in leadership positions.
Because this is home.
And you don't take pride in nothing else other than home.
Perhaps no one has more pride than this father-daughter duo.
I will leave you one thing. Robert F. Kennedy. Some people see things as they are and say, why? I see things as they never were and say, why not?
And just to note, Dias Park received $6.5 million, and Boykin Road Park received $1.6 million for renovations. Now, we will keep you posted on the progress of those projects as well. And we found a fun day outside the classroom for kids over at SRP Park. The Green Jacket Jackets hosted Education Day on Monday, an experience designed specifically for students. They had contests, prizes, educational tables to visit, plus baseball all in one spot. Teachers even got an Education Day packet, which is full of math, science, and history activities for students to do. For a lot of these schools, it wasn't their first time coming to Education Day either.
It's always very well organized. The kids enjoy it. It's a fun day in the spring when testing time is, on the rise, that we have somewhere to take the kids and somewhere for them to relax and have a good day.
The next Education Day will be Tuesday, May 6th, where the Green Jackets will go up against the Hickory Crawdads. Gates open at 9:30. And now to an update from News 12 investigates about the former Richmond County deputy accused of. And state lawmakers are taking a hard look at toughening up the penalties for people who kill police animals in South Carolina. It's happening so often that law enforcement leaders say these deaths are no longer rare. State House reporter Mary Green has the details.
Memorials like this one are happening more frequently in South Carolina for canines killed in the line of duty. This one for sled canine Rico in late 2023. And last year, 6 more law enforcement dogs across the state lost their lives.
To kill a police canine is not merely the destruction of an animal or property. It is the violent silencing of an officer's life in the line of duty.
Right now, a person convicted of killing a law enforcement dog or horse could spend up to 5 years behind bars. Law enforcement officers say that's not enough.
Our current penalties send the wrong message, that these animals' lives are expendable. That message is unacceptable.
These dogs do not hesitate. They don't question danger. They just go. The least we can do is show them and their handlers the respect and legal protection they deserve.
A bill advancing in the Senate would double those penalties. It would impose a mandatory 2 to 10-year prison sentence on a person convicted of willfully or maliciously torturing, mutilating, injuring, disabling, poisoning, or killing a law enforcement dog or horse. People who taunt, torment, tease, beat, strike, or unlawfully drug a police animal could go to prison for up to 5 years.
What they do for us, a lot of people don't realize.
Sheriffs, police chiefs, SLED, and one solicitor spoke in support of the proposed penalty increases Tuesday.
They go out and they put their life on the line just like all of us who wear this uniform do the exact same thing.
Some testified to senators that their colleagues joining them or they themselves wouldn't be there, still alive, if it weren't for the work and sacrifices of these canines.
Had they not been willing to go into those houses that day, I would not be speaking to this committee. Let us not wait for another senseless tragedy to take action.
This bill got its first 2 approvals Tuesday and will next await a debate on the Senate floor. Reporting from the State House, I'm Mary Green.
Similar bills have been filed in the House of Representatives named in honor of canines killed in the line of duty. The list of their names on the legislation has grown every year for the last few years as more dogs have died. In a heads up for Georgians and South Carolinians, you have less than 3 weeks to go get your